Oh, because on the toilet brush, it wasn't actually, there was a other thing that was not, it wasn't just toilet brush. That was on the Amazon.
Should have been a toilet brush, a toilet cleaner.
There was some other safety stuff on it. And we had to break it up. Oh, this is another, no, that was the insurance. Another thing in here that was $300 and some odd dollars that we didn't know we was gonna have to do class. Here. I don't know, what is Quinn Parts?
That's the hydraulic fluid for the equipment for the excavator.
Equipment maintenance.
Yeah, equipment maintenance.
Can everybody hear us on Zoom? Pam?
Loud and clear, guys. I can see your faces too, waving at you.
Thank you. Okay, we're ready, Becky.
Okay. It's 6:02, and this is the regular meeting for Fraser Park Public Utility Company. We're meeting on Thursday, August 10th, and call to order, pledge to the flag. Everybody rise. Ready, begin.
Allegiance to the flag of the States of and to the republic to set one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for.
Roll call directors, Director Nyman is absent. Director Garcia,
Here.
Director Schoenberg,
Here.
Director Kelly,
here.
Gibson, I'm here, so 4 here and 1 absent. Discussion vote on adjusting the agenda if necessary. Does anyone have any changes they want to make? Director Schoenberg?
I'd like to table 1920 until Roman's here, and also because I brought the wrong one. For the,
Same thing, this part was safety, the rest of it was,
19 and 20, right?
19 and 20.
Okay. Anything else?
For a second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman is absent. Director Garcia?
Aye.
Director Schoenberg?
Aye.
Director Kelly? Gibson, aye. 4-0, 1 absent.
And do we have a closed session tonight, do we need to do a closed session?
Dee, do you know if we need a closed session?
Let me see, yeah, I think maybe just a short, really short one.
So that's, I think that's correct.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments? Is there any of the public here that make a comment? Okay, report of officers. President, I have nothing to report. Vice President? Secretary is absent, right?
No, I'm secretary.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No report.
sure.
No report.
Treasurer?
Yeah.
Okay, and JPI,
I have nothing.
good deal. Board member initiatives? Manager's report.
All right. So yeah, I met with Dee and Chris and Matt and everything. We'll get to that on their line item. We had a leak on the McGee pipeline. We've never had a leak up there, so I found out a flaw in our, when we had fencing put around up there. There's no way to get any equipment down the hill, mountainside, so I have a quote coming for a gate on the backside of it as well. But on the same line, we had a leak that I found with the drone. And then, during one of the last days of the fire, the Takaya fire, there was a leak that the fire department reported down in the shooting range side, and it's the 4-inch that comes off of McGee. So apparently that's gonna start being a problem now, but to get there with our equipment, I had to go to the Forest Service and explain that we had a permit. They had to come out, send a guy out, and he had to walk and look for any kind of plant or animal that might be endangered, and then mark a way for us to drive the backhoe through there to fix it. So we fixed it, but it was just shortcoming in my foresight. Just think about putting a gate.
So there's a 4-inch that comes off of McGee?
Yeah, see, and the way it works is,
That's
and I found something
crazy.
else, the maps show 1 6-inch running down like the ridge line,
Yeah,
and then that goes down the hill and feeds to Wolf. And then there's another 4-inch that runs, 4-inch, it starts somewhere, it runs down and goes by the fire station to a PRV station down there, and that feeds down in the hole. But
so it doesn't, I always thought it went up the street. I mean,
But on the top of the hill, when they were working on the 6-inch, they found 2 6-inches. So either one of the 6 inches transitions to a 4 and then goes down to the shooting range and then to the PRV. Or there's 2 6-inches that go down towards Wolf. So that's another issue another puzzle to solve later on. But all of our 4-inch lines, lately, most of our leaks have been all centered on the 4-inch steel. I suspect that they were all put in around the same time.
What's that? What's the age?
Well, I don't know. I can only guess 60s or 70s, yeah. Because I know some of the PVC was put in the 70s, so I know they were already starting.
End of the 70s.
Yeah, they were already starting to do that. But whatever the age, and some of it I suspect even older than.
That seems like such a bizarre way to run. Who would want to run down the other side? Why wouldn't we be coming off of Main that comes up to go to the fire station? Why wouldn't it come up off of the main that's on Mount Pinos?
There
Why?
is no main on Pinos there.
There isn't?
No, there never has been. The main stops at roughly Elm Trail. Which is why the houses on the left side of just past Elm on Mount Pinos, there's a group of houses like where Dave Carlson lived.
Yeah.
There's like 6 houses there.
Yeah.
They're fed off a 2-inch that runs in between those houses on Alcott and Mount Pinos because there's no main line right there. And plus the pressure zone's divided, which I found out the pressure zone map is wrong, but the pressure zones are divided. So it does make sense to run the 4-inch down because the area that it feeds, it's the closest route off of McGee to feed straight down and go to West End, Gilpin, High Trail, all that. But
So that's all coming off of 4-inch?
all that lower stuff, yeah.
Wow.
And then the part that it does feed on North End, Bruce, feeds off of,
The
The other
6
side,
inch
6-inch.
coming off of the.
And we-
pressure
and,
reducer valve.
we're assuming the 6-inch. It's a top feed tank, so the 6-inch comes off of McGee, but I think the only way the McGee zone gets fed up there is off of Wolf Tank. Because they're tied together now, we've proven that,
Yeah, that,
which made no sense because that pressure zone map doesn't show that, but it turns out it's totally wrong. That one,
Well, was that mapping right?
well, parts of it aren't, but
but you're saying there's another pressure reducing valve coming off of McGee tank, coming off of a 4-inch that comes off the bay.
the pressure
back of
reducing
McGee.
station, the houses across from the fire station, there's always been a PRV right there. And it reduces the pressure before it gets to like ash and all that stuff. And then there's 2 more pressure stations off the same feeds. They go all the way down to the hole because it keeps on building up pressure as it drops
Yeah, I
down.
thought those all came off of, Walnut.
Nope. So, yeah, so we have that. And then, Julin leaked again, ran down, came out of that culvert that they designed again, went right through the guy's yard again, and we already had the big claim on it. Luckily, I avoided him filing a claim. And it was, I mentioned, he's still out of town when I mentioned that I'd already been there and videoed and took photographs. And that his tenant told me that no water got in the house. Then he said, well, okay, then I won't file a claim. But so we're gonna have to do something with Julin, and I think the mainline replacement is still too far off, so we need to figure out if we have money to do that part of Julin and use that money on the pipeline replacement somewhere else, or what we're gonna do, because we keep on, what I did in the meantime was we have sandbags on the hillside where the culvert is. And then I also had to put sandbags right behind that house along the wall. So if it jumps the culvert, it's still got another bunch of sandbags to derail it, but their design is terrible. Didn't work. And one other thing, had a customer complaint. Lady said she twisted her ankle real bad because we dug down to our main. I went out and looked. We didn't dig down to our main. We simply read the meter, and there's the meter box. She just bought the house, and in order for them to sell the house, they put gravel in there, and there's some gravel on the lid. So when they read the meters, no gravel on the lid. She said she twisted her ankle. So yeah, but ma'am, there's also a big old pothole just to the left of that, and right in front of it is the road, and there's all the potholes. And I said, that's, you know, the way it is. Well, she said, I want it raised. I said, well, we can't raise it, because if I raise it, then it's sticking above the ground and it's a tripping hazard. So she didn't like my response. She's upset about it. She said she was gonna get somebody to fix the driveway, and we told her that we'd give her meter boxes if, you know, they bring it in and they bring it up to grade. But one side of the meter box is level, the other side is not, which is all over town. Because when they're coming in out of the driveway, it's wearing away the soil on one side, and the other side stays high. So it's just a fact of, there's no way we could fix that stuff to anybody's satisfaction. She was supposed to come to the meeting tonight, but she's not here, but so I thought I'd throw it out there.
Got a picture of it?
Huh?
You have a picture?
Took a video of the whole driveway and everything, and the meter box is all the way out to the street. I mean, there's still 50 feet to park where it's all level. And then literally going into the driveway, there's like a big drop off where people spin their tires going into the driveway, which she also thought we did. But me and Corey both told her we haven't done any work there in the entire time either one of us have been there. All we've done is read the meter. So whoever
Where
did
is
that,
that?
it's coming off East End. It's called South End. It only goes for like 2 blocks. And so it's right there in the driveway, but almost every meter box in this town is either below grade or 2 grade, because the topography changes so much every time there's a rainstorm or whatever. But
Is there a way to move the meter box over? I mean, is there like, is the driveway right on the property line?
it probably costs $1,000 worth of time and materials to move it. And if we did that one, we have to do every other one that they do. The fact is that if there's potholes all the way around it, I don't understand why the fact that our meter box, you know, is one gravel height off, why that's our responsibility. We never leave anything that's a tripping hazard. Everything out there on that street is a tripping hazard.
Yeah, it is sometimes like some of our meter boxes, when we switch the meter, you know, when we do the project, some of them are just in like weirder places than others. Like mine's in a place where most people aren't gonna step on it unless they park against my fence.
Yeah.
But some people, it's like right in the middle part, or, you know, it's enough in their driveway.
Yeah, most of them won't be changed during the project because we're paying to do meter swaps and
And not move.
not do new service lines and set new boxes unless we have to and all that stuff. But the fact is, most of those are gonna be, I mean, they're all gonna be radio red anyway. If they get covered up with an inch of dirt, it's no big deal. But a meter box in your driveway, on my side lot, there's meter boxes right in my driveway. I mean, we're in the.
I'm just saying I know, but for some people, like we got a lot of new people moving in and.
Wow.
And they
We
want
can't
one
change the whole way the system's been laid out, and I would say a good majority of all meter boxes are capable of stepping on them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put them in the road, they're in the road. Can't do anything about it. So unfortunately, I feel for her that she twisted her ankle, but it's not our responsibility.
They you just turn it into the insurance.
She didn't even file a claim. She didn't ask for a claim. She wanted me to.
Move
She
the
said,
box.
I want you to raise the box. I said, if I raise the box, then it's a tripping hazard, then it will become.
Raised box is not.
I said, if it's set at the same level it's always been and somebody else changes the height of the driveway, that's not my fault. But if I raise it for you and then somebody trips on it, because it's sticking up an inch out of the ground. That is my fault now, so I can't raise it. I said, if you want to raise it, we'll give you the box. You could do it, but then you're also going to be liable for anybody walking down the road that may trip on it. That makes her liable. So, yeah, it's just a sticky situation. So just making you aware of what it was.
So we're gonna leave it, is that the last?
I'm leaving it now.
Okay, is that it, Johnny?
That's it.
Do you have anything, Tiffany, administrative assistant report?
Yeah, we did have another public records request. They always come into the FPPUD one. But they were asking for some employee information. So I emailed Alan, because when the big organizations ask, it's better to get it right. Because they know how to come after you when you don't comply. But he told me he formulated the response, he looked over the information that fulfilled the request, and he told me what I should redact from the record. So that was done, and I sent it off to them, so we fulfilled that, but just expect that. It shouldn't be a big charge, it was just an email, a couple of emails back and forth, but just so you know, later we'll get that bill.
Okay. Number 7, standing committee reports, accounts payable committee.
I really apologize. Can we back up just for a second? My
Sure.
report? I forgot. So we got plans from Jeff French for the mainline extension. I took him down to D and he looked them over and he agreed with me and Santana, the way Jeff has them, has it laid out. So I'm gonna email Jeff and tell him, how we want to change for us. He wanted to tie it into an existing 2-inch that we don't know even where it's at. But I feel like it will put too much pressure on that old 2-inch steel line. So, I'm gonna make those corrections to him, but I did talk to Dee about that and, he agreed with us, so. Yeah,
And that woman needs to fill out the paperwork if she hasn't already. There's no paperwork for that,
well, that part comes before we ever let her do construction. The way I read the mainline, extension policy is the engineer has to draw it. Then when they figure out what it is, because the insurance and all that stuff they have to do, I think is contingent upon what it costs for the project. So once Jeff gets the plan drawn, then she can start going down and following all the rest of the policy that we have for mainline extension, as well as the will serve letter.
Yeah, because it's just, she did it all backwards, right? This is the person that did the house
Yeah.
first and then,
Yeah.
yeah, I just want to make sure we don't forget that.
No, we
Because
ain't
it's
gonna.
not, there's not even a will serve.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. All right, now I'm done. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't,
Thursday.
shouldn't the will serve come in now?
The way it
Even
should,
though everything is already, I mean,
no,
we're
no,
going forward, I know, but
the way it should work is before you even put in a septic tank or do anything on that property, you get a will serve letter from water, electricity and gas.
right.
They're not supposed to allow any plans approved until they get that. Somehow or another, these people managed to build up the entire house, even with my multiple phone calls to planning. And without a will serve for water, gas, or electric. She's since got gas and electric installed, but water is contingent on the mainline replacement. So I don't know how that worked in planning, but she managed to get that far.
So we're gonna let her go ahead and put in mainline and all of that, spend the thousands of dollars. And then she'll do a will serve, and then we'll say, well, yes or no. When we already, well, at that point, we'll have to say yes.
Well, we pretty much have to say yes anyway. She's got a house that costs $200,000 to build. We have to say yes because she's already in our district. So that's the county's fault. But where we benefit is, and it's a big benefit, is we're gonna have approximately 200 feet of 6-inch line in a road that doesn't have any 6-inch. And we're gonna recommend they say they have to put a fire hydrant on the end of it. So it increases fire protection. In order for her to get the will serve to give her a 3/4 inch meter. Or a 1-inch meter, she's gonna have to pay that too. So that's why the mainline extension is a benefit to the district.
But the mainline extension is part of the will serve letter. So
We can't decide on the will serve letter until we can provide her water, which we can't provide her water until there's a 6-inch line in the road. That's what I'm saying. You can't put the cart before the horse. Normally,
But
it's
it
the
normally
will serve.
says, it says that on the will serve, it has a section on the will serve that says that we require them to do a mainline
And
extension.
that's what they're doing, but we had to get our engineer to approve their mainline extension before anything could go forward.
I know, the only reason I'm saying that is normally there's a will serve. We don't say will serve them, we say you need to do a mainline extension, all that stuff's attached to the will serve. They put in their $200, so it's on record, right now, there's nothing on record. So that way it's on record, and then. You know, we could give her an extension if it's gonna be a little longer than the 6 months, so that she doesn't have to like lose that 200, we could do that. But I think that we should have it on record, because I just don't want.
I think at one point she did give us $200
No.
because we did
We
potholing.
can't find it,
Well, we did potholing and paid Santana to pothole, trying to find a line to tire to.
that's why I'm concerned.
But anyway, the point is, here's the issue. There's a huge language barrier, which is what caused all of this to begin with. Tried to have translations with the husband. The husband, said he understood. Then they end up with this brand new house built and no way to get water to it. Because nobody was communicating, the county wasn't communicating with us. So then when it all started up again, Santana said, this lady called me, she needs a mainline extension. I go, yes, but now I need you to explain the mainline extension and the will serve process. Here you go. In the meantime, Jeff just did a quick sketch, it's on my desk. So that's like the beginning stages, like Jeff did something. Now I have to make sure that Santana, since I just talked to Dee today, Santana explains to them, you gotta do the will serve later, you gotta do the mainline extension.
And
because
you're still
nothing's-
gonna
because
connect
nothing's-
it to the system.
I know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, none of it, it was all a moot point. Until right this minute when I got Dee to look at the rough draft plans. Now Santana, as the translator, is gonna explain the whole process to the people. And then they're gonna have to start doing the rest of that stuff before we let them do anything.
Yeah, I would just recommend that we put something on paper, like a will serve. And it just needs to say, because our will serve has a spot on it right there that says recommendation, mainline extension and all that stuff so that it exists.
Well, yeah,
And
that's
then,
what I'm saying, though. Everything's gonna be done. We're not gonna approve them to touch our ground or do anything until all of that stuff is satisfied. The will serve request, the mainline extension, everything is gonna be done. Again, but because the language barrier. the language barrier. It's been an issue the whole time. This just came back up again in the last 3 weeks. So she'll get the mainline extension and the will serve, and then I will present it to you guys. So it will be taken care of, I promise. My issue is I have no control over somebody reaching out to an engineer and saying, will you draw me a mainline extension? And I had nothing to do with all of a sudden Jeff French gave me the plans. You know what I mean?
But it says it very specifically, like in our mainline extension policy, which should have, if it had gone right, they would have done the will serve, we would have attached the mainline policy to the will serve. They would have had it translated or
I
whatever.
agree, but it's no different than if I went to Pine Mountain Club and bought a property and then had, hey, engineer Jeff, redraw me these plans, and then I had my plans, but it has nothing to do with the water company there. I didn't tell her to do that. I told her what she had to do, and she did it in kind of a weird order, but that's not my fault. We couldn't have controlled that at all. And we have to give her, in my opinion, we have to give her, as long as she meets all our requirements, we have to give her water. Because you can't have somebody with, 200,000 or better invested in a house that the county let her build and not give her water. What? What are you gonna do? Let her violate other policies by putting a tank in the yard? You can't say tear the house down, we didn't give you permission.
No, it'll just have to sit there empty without no
You can't
water.
do that to people. We're a public utility. It means
Yeah.
public. We're for the public. We're not against the public, and a language barrier doesn't dictate that. I would think that if the county's letting me do something, it's
Yeah,
okay to do
the
it.
county
It's
must.
okay to do it. It's the people that built the house shouldn't have been allowed to build it. And since they
Exactly.
did,
but
it's not on her to lose everything she's got because the
No, I
county
agree.
did it in the wrong
I
order.
agree with
so.
that, but I do think it's important that we have some wording in place because we've told other people no because of the whole thing going on with the well. And we're gonna tell her yes, so there just needs to be the more.
Yeah, and the only
paperwork-
difference between that and everybody else is this has been going on since before the moratorium on the Wilson.
I know.
So. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying, and I understand the frustration. I'm frustrated too, but it's just where we're at right now, so. I'll make sure everything everything has to come to you guys anyway. The will serve, the main line, everything.
No, I know, I just don't want more miscommunication because I don't think right now anyone has communicated to them that they also need to pay a connection fee, and I think they're.
I gave both things to the husband.
Okay,
And then when the wife came in and said she was tired of them doing it wrong, she was gonna handle it. I gave her both things again.
okay.
And then I'll have Santana relay again, both things.
What language do they speak?
Mexican, Spanish. Mexican, Indian language, Spanish.
Thank you for fixing.
Yeah, I apologize. Didn't mean nothing. But there is a difference too, you know? So it's all right. I've had Hispanic people that correct me on that before.
Okay,
Okay, are we done discussing that topic? We ready to move on to standing committee reports? Account payable committee?
we met, looked over the invoices and we'll talk about all the other stuff in financial.
Okay. State update meeting, is that you, Jerry?
Yeah, we're gonna meet this next Thursday. We reported on last, so we be the next.
Good. Quarterly financial committee?
We met, we went through. I think we did.
Met
finish.
twice, you
Yeah.
met and did all of the.
And then we met and I think, and I think we finished.
We're done. yeah.
We're done. So
Oh, that's
the
good.
third quarter, the third quarter is complete.
Great.
Well, that was the
Third
second
quarter,
quarter.
or the
That's the
second quarter, okay, whatever quarter that was,
Yeah.
it's done.
Okay, ad hoc committee reports, project committee?
We met. We need to meet, we still need to meet with D, I don't know. You know, we're supposed to have that meeting, but I'm not sure what's going on with Director Nyman, so, but we haven't met yet for that.
He was
There's,
sick now.
yeah, there's an additional meeting that needs to happen,
Yeah,
which has to do with the.
Sorry,
See, it does, the,
French Wainwright.
French Wayne.
financial committee?
We met, we went over some more of the list. We got through some more, and there's more to be done.
Generator pad construction committee, have you got started yet?
Yep, we met, last Monday, 7:31. It was 2 Mondays ago now. Toured all the sites, reviewed the proposed locations and tried to see if there were better locations for it, especially, Wolf Tank where they want to do a retaining wall, but the location is out in the public road. Anyone can get to it. So we're trying to see if we can move it inside the fence, but that will necessitate a crane large enough to with the capacity to move the generator. So we had a research, came in here, did research. I called the guy that in charge of the rental company that's home to us and had him do some research and got back to us on the weight of the heaviest generator. So, and it's only 5,000 pounds. We thought it was like, yeah, we thought it was like 10 or something,
Yeah.
but
7,000 fully loaded with fuel.
right, but I don't think we're gonna move them, look fully loaded. You know, wise things, we move them as empty as possible and then fill them once they're in location, but we went through all that and researched the generator weights for crane capacity needed. And so now we're awaiting plans from D. and see what he wants as far as what we're gonna build.
Well, great. I'm glad we're moving forward.
Yeah, it was a kind of kickstart so that Johnny could share some things, because he obviously works there all the time and knows the drawbacks, if any, of positives and the negatives of what the design criteria has been given to him so far. So it gives us something to work with and improve on if we can, and maybe even cut down some costs.
Great. It's great to hear something else on the committee.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
You know?
Well, we're gonna keep going until we get it in the ground.
Okay, financial business, number 9, discussion vote on accounts payable and financial information. Anybody have any comments or questions?
That's Deborah.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Devin.
Hi, Deborah.
I'd like to start by noting that I added 2 more disbursements to the accounts payable. One of them was the Edison bill, which we were anticipating, and the Fraser Park Ace Hardware statement. And I want to further note on the Ace Hardware statement, I changed a bit of the process because it was going in, each individual invoice was going in to the accounts payable system. And it was a little awkward because it goes in the order of data entry rather than sequential order or date order. And so I've changed it now to be handled like a credit card, because it is in fact a house charge or store charge. And it just so happened that last month when we paid the bill, we were 9 cents off. And I didn't catch it until I changed the process this month and saw that there was a 9 cent difference. So that shouldn't happen again, because it's going to be reconciled like the other credit cards. So in your section where you have the reconciliation for credit cards, you'll also see a report now for Ace Hardware. Okay, so out of, hello?
I was just saying that's actually super helpful to see because there's always so many charges on it.
Yes, it was really, really awkward handling it the other way. And so I had the time to make the switch, and I think it'll be a lot more easy to handle. Okay, so out of the revenue operating account, we issued 25 checks for a total of $58,476.12. The extraordinary disbursements include the JPIA employee benefit medical insurance, $8,735.93. American Business Machines, we paid the balance on the new camera security system, $8,237.60. Barn pump and irrigation on booster at well 5, $19,511.51. And then our Edison bill was $8,722.25. And those were the extraordinary disbursements. Are there any questions?
Yeah. Deborah, I went through with Terry, but there's a few classifications that we put little notes on because they were either like in the wrong spot or some of them you had already caught. But there were also some that just there was a question on it or somehow it didn't. I think Johnny hadn't written on it, so you would put something, but it wasn't official. So anyway, I think we have notes on all that stuff.
So you'll have a
Anything
report,
else?
need to make the changes on Monday?
Yeah. I'll put it on the desk.
Okay,
So entertain a motion to pay our bills.
I'll make a motion on Sarah, Bill.
Well, before we do, well, we can do that, but before we do that, Brahma transferred from the SLA for the cameras. So the 16,475.21 came out of the SLA. And the, transferred, from the CIR, the 19,511.51. Because we did not have enough to pay our bills
For the booster.
for the,
Yeah.
for the booster. Without transferring, we did not have enough money to pay the bills.
But okay. Cause he couldn't, well, I guess we just have to decide if boosters an SLA or I guess it's a longer term than that.
Longer
right?
term, I hope so.
25 years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's gonna require rebuilding long before that. No, I mean, it's,
But that's gonna be a maintenance as opposed to, were these,
it was a rebuild on the existing booster that was put in 2012 when we did our project. But it was, it was like $20,000 to rebuild it or
Right.
$24,000 to replace it. And everything that's moving was replaced in the rebuild, so I saved,
so you said it
I
was.
saved $3,000 by not just putting a new one in.
We,
Yeah, it made sense. Then, when I
we-
looked at it.
put it in as an asset. So we had to transfer some money.
Yeah.
And we'll just dictate how long of an asset. You know, it's more like a 5-year asset than a 25-year.
Then I probably we probably just should have transferred out of the SLA, but it's okay.
Okay, well,
If it's a short-lived asset.
yeah, and
We need to
Ron
ask,
talked about that and we didn't know how long. And so we thought, well, part of the booster is probably longer than the 5 years we figured it was gonna last longer than the cameras.
I know that the one that we just rebuilt lasted from 2012 till now, so. I mean, we don't run it all the time, but still, so it is greater than 5, but it's probably more like a 10-year deal.
Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to pay the bills. Does anybody want to second it?
I'll second that.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors, Director Nyman is absent. Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg, Director Kelling,
Aye.
Gibson, I, 4-0, 1 absent. Okay, does Deborah need to stay on for anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay, good night, Deborah. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Deborah.
thank you. Have a good weekend.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I never do this correctly. We're gonna do the closed session now.
Practice makes perfect.
Practice makes perfect. Okay. So when do I say it?
You see that, this part now,
The first part?
this little part here,
Oral announcement.
Okay,
say that one now.
okay. Thanks, Terry.
Mhm.
Oral announcement prior to closed session, Government Code 54957.7A. A representative of the legislative body to orally announce the items to be discussed in closed session prior to any closed session meeting. So we are going into closed session at 6:40.
Okay, give me 1 second, Brahma texted me, so. You didn't answer again. I'm feeling better.
Does he wanna come? Tell him to get over here.
Alright, sorry about that. Okay, closed session. All right, we're back in the main.
Okay, we're coming out of closed session at 6:50 and nothing was decided on. So now we're moving on to number 12. Discussion vote update on Fraser Park, Lake of the Woods Consolidation Planning Project. Discussion vote review on the project timeline.
He's not out yet. There it is.
Hi Dee, we're on number 12 and we're discussing the consolidation planning. And we're on A, discussion vote review of the project timeline.
Send a letter of request on the 27th of July to Lawrence requesting that we move our deadline from June of 2024 to December of 2024. And received an email back. Lawrence needs also to have the budget revised to please the administrative end of his operation, and eliminate the contingency, fold it into the individual project items. And he suggested a distribution of that, I think it was around $90,000. And I've accepted a couple of those and then added some money to the CEQA because I know that from Tom Dodson that, we're looking at close to 100,000 for the CEQA. And I think we had about 56 in there for the environmental documents. And that, I think, was pretty much a holdover from 2015.
I thought we did that last time. Didn't we discuss that with Carlos? And didn't we write a
Yeah.
letter about that?
Yeah, I have a couple comments, like the numbers that Lawrence put on there aren't the numbers aren't reflecting what's actually in there, because we only have like 79,000 in contingency, and he has it as the whole 119,000 that we had in there. So that's something that we're gonna have to discuss and go through the budget, because we wouldn't have the 119,000 mixed in there with what is it, the engineering design. I think he put that together for a total of 300-some thousand. So we wouldn't have that much. We only have like 79 in contingency. And so, because I think he took the numbers of the that was originally in the contract, but we don't have those, not the same numbers anymore. So we're gonna have to get together and look at those.
He
So,
wanted,
Yeah,
yeah, do you want me to get you up real quick?
Yeah, because I'm concerned about all the
Okay, so-
contingency being put into the design.
Lawrence sent an email and he said that the state is eliminating contingency from all planning projects.
What?
So they don't want a contingency line item in the budgets anymore. So he had sent a recommended adjustment where all the contingency is moved out and contingency is zeroed and put into other line items. So that's what they're talking about.
Well, my concern is that if we go longer and all the contingency, I think we need some more put under the admin board stuff, which we had moved some, but we were kind of thinking there was still gonna be contingency, and if we needed to move more, we could. If it's all gonna get moved out of there, I have a problem with it all being distributed into design.
it looked to me like he put another 20,000 in task number 1, raised it from 81.
But that's what we had asked. Isn't that what we asked for, Carlos, last time? So I'm confused.
Yeah, that's why I said we're gonna have to set up a meeting and go over these numbers to get the exact numbers that are in there, because like I said, he has all of contingency as 119,000 locked in with with engineering design, but we don't have the 119,000 in contingency, so that's something we're gonna have to discuss. We can't,
Right, so
and then
basically.
we're also
he
gonna
is
have
doing-
I also have a budget adjustment, but since he stated that this has to be done by the 14th, I don't know if we're gonna be able to do the budget adjustment. We're gonna have to just move part of that money into admin. I think it was like 17,000 that you guys wanted moved in there to cover for 2 years.
Mhm.
So basically.
Yeah, but if all the contingency is gone, maybe we should put like 25 in there.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying. We
just
have to
concerned.
discuss because we have to give we also have to give some kind of background info as to why we're moving that money in there. Or we're gonna have or like he says,
It needs to
they're gonna get
cover
rid of
whatever-
contingency.
It needs to cover whatever other project ad hocs and whatever other meetings are gonna happen and the in between, and if there's other stuff. And I mean, I'm just concerned because it looks like he didn't move any of the stuff, so whatever we were moving already that we had in that letter, we should make sure that it's going into those places plus the design.
Well, plus we can also move it around after, if we start having too much. I think the Lawrence's take on it is, let's move it now before the deadline, so you don't just lose the contingency.
No, I understand that, but sometimes like it gets eaten up. I just don't want it to get eaten up in certain places and us not be covered for other stuff.
Well, the
Even
thing is
though,
that
yes.
if I'm doing, like I did that budget adjustment letter, but we're not gonna actually approve it until not this state
Right,
meeting
so that's
following,
not
so it's not gonna get enough time. But that 17,000 that we were wanting to move, and there's 78,000, so that would leave like 59,000. But if we move like 25 or 30,000 in there, then that'll only.
I don't think we need 30. I think we just need maybe 20.
Yeah, but we just gotta put
I
it. Yeah, we just gotta put it into the different categories.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So can we look at that quickly before, like soon, like immediately?
Yeah, but we have to
So
do it
it can
before
get-
we have to do it before the 14th, I believe. That's what the deadline was.
Right,
Do it tomorrow.
so when can we do that?
Yeah, we could do it tomorrow. I'm open tomorrow. I don't know,
Yeah,
but you guys
me
are
too.
closed tomorrow, right?
Me-
Tomorrow is not so great because nobody's here usually.
According to Lawrence, we have to have it done by the end of the day on Monday.
If we do it tomorrow, Tiffany could come in.
I could come in and do the Zoom, provided you do it
But-
the first
So
half of the day.
I've already got like multiple,
Okay.
Because 14th is what, Monday?
yeah.
Has to be tomorrow, or just decide quickly off the
Right
top
now.
what to do now. And
Yeah, can we just decide it
Do you have a budget?
now?
Do you have a?
Well, I can tell you what we got from our calculations and from what we've been asking for, or what we've been moving around.
Well, we know we needed money in the environmental, which we were already going to move in there, so that was,
Yes, that was done already. Let me look at it real quick.
it's done, but it's not done, because wasn't that part of this next budget move?
No, that was done a while ago.
I thought we were just talking about that this last time.
No, the only thing we were waiting to move was for the meetings, I think. Yeah, we already moved the environmental last month.
You don't have a budget that you can pull up.
Well, you know what? No, we have,
Email
haven't
me real quick, so I,
yeah, we haven't moved it. We haven't moved any money to environmental, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Yeah, we
Pretty
have,
sure we did
for
not.
environmental documents, we have 59,000 673. Or hold on, let me look at the last budget.
I thought the part of this one that we were sending in that letter was both environmental and the admin meetings stuff.
No, this one was just for admin meeting.
Um,
Uh, okay,
We
if
don't have a budget in front, hard to know.
Can you, Carlos, can you send Tiffany quickly your
Well,
previous, your very last?
I did send it to Tiffany. Actually, you know what? We did make the environmental documents change already. We do have 100,000 in there.
Okay, can you send the very last one you have now so she
I
can just
did.
stick it in front of all of the directors?
Is that
I
the
did-
one
I did
attached
send-
to the meeting budget request?
Yeah, that's the one that's with the budget request. That has all the updated numbers on there.
Okay, hold on.
The only thing I can find is the minutes and it's.
So the only thing that we're gonna have to ignore because it hasn't been approved is the moving of the 17,000.
Okay, give me a minute and then I'll bring it up for them.
Which I'm suggesting that we move that and just tell Lawrence, you know, that we don't want it all to go into design.
Well, yeah, Lawrence just put it in that way, but he wanted us to go through it and decide what we're gonna move and to give well, let me get the email out so you can know exactly what he said.
This was the last budget one that we did. That's in our minutes, but it doesn't help us much of anything.
Okay, so he says, hello all, please provide a justification for the budget changes or my management will look to remove the contingency amount from the agreement.
Okay, so he's not saying it can't be in there, he's saying we don't have a justification.
No, they're gonna get rid of contingency. So the way he did it is he got rid of contingency and moved stuff around. So we gotta give justification for those moves, or else they're gonna get rid of the funds if we don't have justification for them.
I know D made a comment today that there might not be enough in the environmental, even with that 100,000.
Where is that letter? Did that letter go to me too? Did I not see it?
I'll see who it went to. It went to Brahma. It went to you as well, to D.
What's the date?
It went to Gerald. So it pretty much went to everybody. Tuesday at 4:30.
Well, it's not supposed to go to all of us, cause then that's a problem.
Yeah, it went to-
Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday at 4:30. It did go to all of you guys, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But coming from
What was
DFA,
it- what was that date? It's not in my email. Let me find it. It's in my spam or something.
It'd be dated, right? This
Uh,
Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
hey,
Does that?
No.
No.
well, I mean, we won't have a problem justifying it because
I can too.
if D says that we need more money in environmental, then we can put some in there. And we definitely need more money for admin. And we're also short in a couple other
I
areas.
didn't get an email on the 8th. That was on the 8th?
It said Tuesday on here, so yep, Tuesday, August 8th at 3:03. No, wait,
I
Tuesday.
have.
PPUD?
Yeah, he sent it. He
Oh,
sent
you
it
went
to
to print
me, everybody at Fraser Park, and he sent it to myself and Oscar. He sent it to Tiffany and Tiffany got it, so, oh, he also sent it to Johnny as well. So he sent it to everybody.
I'm confused. It must be part of a thread or something because I can't find it.
You guys want me to forward it to you guys right now?
Tiffany has it.
No, I have
Okay.
the budget up, but I'm having the,
Yeah, go ahead and forward it so everybody can look at their email right now. Thank you.
it's been forever.
My personal email or the.
Through the FPUD, but I can't look at
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah, no.
What?
I'm gonna print,
It's up there.
I have the well
I
five
can't
thing. I don't have
print
that.
it from here right now. I can print it from there. Play computer roulette.
This one will do that, that one will do that, this one will,
Exactly.
I do that at home.
Yeah, I just found it. It's part of a thread. I hate when they do this stuff. It's like buried in a long thread.
Okay, I just sent it to all of you guys.
As part of that same thread,
Yeah,
or a new email.
Should still pop up on the top though.
Nope, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Other ones do that I do all the time, but it's not, his ain't coming in through right now, but
No, the thread ones pop up in the thread and it's really hard to follow because on my phone, they pop up like out of order and stuff.
mine pops up according to date and time that I receive it. So if a new addition to a thread comes up, it still notifies me at the top of my list, but I did not receive that.
I just received.
There it is. I just got it right now. See, so it does still pop up.
It says, here you go. Is that the one you just sent?
yeah.
Yeah.
Show quoted text. Yeah.
So one of the emails came in on the 8th as the tracking sheet for Plan 32. And below that is also. It isn't through the. Tab.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you, I'm glad you can figure this technology stuff out. Much easier to read this way.
The environmental documents right now is 100,000.
He's saying that we're gonna need more than that. Carlos, on here, it says a proposed change of 17,000.
Yeah, that's what we were gonna
that
do
what you-
next.
Is
So
that, is that
that-
already in a letter?
That's been completed by myself, but it hasn't been approved, so that one is not official.
Okay, so this is what, okay,
This is the next one we were gonna do.
okay.
I'm just trying to find the one where we added
Right, but we weren't thinking that there was gonna be zero in contingency, so.
Okay, so in budget adjustment. Budget adjustment number 10 is where we added money to the environmental to make it equal 100,000.
Right.
But
So
it
it's not
probably needs to be,
on that sheet. I still don't have it. Well, I mean, on that one, I do have it, but on another sheet, I don't have it as 100,000, but that was processed already in
and
budget
over on the
adjustment
far
number
left,
10.
you still have it as. On the far left, you still have it as 56,216, but then you have it on the right for proposed revised is 100,000.
Yeah, the far left those numbers never changed. Those are the original amounts.
Okay,
Yeah,
The
but
ones that
he's
changed,
saying,
so you wanna put,
he's saying more than that, so maybe we need about 130,000 D? What do you think we need in there? We really only have 59,000
well,
to work
Well-
with. And I'm suggesting we have a little less than that we better put a little bit more into management administration if it's all getting moved from contingency.
yeah, so right
So
now
we put
just
50?
ignore the 17,000 because we don't have it in there. So we actually have 78,000 something in there.
Well,
Right, so,
my thoughts are take care of the administrative things first. And then we'll probably have to do an adjustment down the road on the design end of this. But, we've known from the beginning it's short, but, get the administrative taken care of. You're doing that right now. And, then as long as we have the environmental covered, and I'm hoping that it won't be any more than 100, then, the other items, test wells were done, the engineering report. I think, I don't know what we have in there for that, but we have a little bit more to do on that, and putting it in a different format. And the environmental documents were important. And then, we can put some in the engineering design if anything's left over.
yeah, because I'm still concerned about legal, even though we haven't spent that.
And we
we
can't,
have legal.
Something
That's
under
fine.
management administration.
can't spend that.
Oh, okay.
in that.
1,000?
Yeah, that's why I'm concerned. I don't wanna get stuck for stuff.
Okay, so basically what we have is $76,832 in contingency right now.
What do you need in administration?
Well, we were thinking about 17,000 for 2 years because that'll cover 2 years. But I
Well,
think
that's
Lisa said
just
she would put in like
director.
20 or 25.
Yeah, because that's only covering the directors, it's not covering consolidation legal, because we weren't gonna worry about that yet. Because we knew we had money in contingency, but if we don't have money in contingency, I'd rather see us. Be a little bit more prudent and safe about what goes under. Management administration, which is where legal is.
We'll put 25 in there, and then we still have 52 left to distribute. And we've got the environmental documents covered, the engineering report. How much do we have left in that engineering report, Carlos?
In engineering report, we got quite a bit. We have like the total is 79,897
Yeah, we moved money in there.
and we spent about, let me see how much we spent so far.
And we
Engineering,
moved money in.
engineering report. We still have $51,621. No, wait.
Oh, yeah. We're,
That's how much we
And
spent
there's
today.
still.
We have $28,275 left in engineering report.
okay. That should be fine. We can put. Well, go ahead, Lisa.
I'm concerned about what do we have left in legal?
The first legal, for the first legal, we have $2,242.91 left. And then we
Yeah.
have
We-
for
Yeah.
engineering, for consolidation, legal, we have 9,000 left in there.
8,000.
Where's consolidation? Well, okay, I see.
We have two
We have, so
different,
I see it, yeah. So we have 2,000 left in the regular legal and 9,000 left in the consolidation legal for like the
Yeah.
MSR and stuff.
in the, annexation costs legal.
Yeah, so I would say we need for sure that 17 that goes under management administration, but I would say maybe 20 and then put more under straight legal. So maybe 20 and 10 and then wherever else, and then you still need some more under environmental, you're saying, D, or no?
I think we're okay with environmental at 100.
Maybe we could put more into engineering admin.
Are
'Cause
we?
We got like 11,000 left in there, but I mean, that seems to be one category where we charge a lot.
We spend a lot in that area.
I think
So, yeah,
I'm just thinking if we would wanted to boost something a little bit, maybe on the engineering report, run that up to, I don't know, 35,000 or something. Gives us a little room. We're putting a lot of things in there. Kind of consolidated that into one budget item. And that's.
I think rather than the report, because you have consolidation engineering as well, D, and that is admin and those there's cost for too. You don't think that we should just put a little more in admin period? I mean, I know we need more in legal admin, and I know we need more in the regular admin for the board, and we only have, what did you say left in consolidation engineering admin?
We have 11,150. Okay, so basically you want to put in 20 grand into management
The
administration
20
over your,
only, no, the 20 is only covering the board for a couple of years.
yeah, that's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
the
That's where to put it in.
Do you wanna go? Do you wanna go
Yeah,
25?
yeah.
So
But
then
I'm concerned, so the consolidation legal, so regular legal, you've been charging. I mean, there's a whole bunch of legal costs that are gonna come up, which is all this stuff, some of which we have to pay out of pocket,
yeah.
but all this stuff for the.
Well, see, the
Court
thing is that
stuff.
you guys set aside two different legals because you guys thought that all the stuff to acquire the properties was going to be able to get paid through this. So that's why we have two different legals. But now that we know that can't be paid through that, then I mean, that's why we have that extra legal in there.
Some can be paid and some can't, and Lawrence wasn't really clear enough on what could and what couldn't. I still have some questions about that.
Wouldn't Would
I know that we can't purchase.
would an appraisal fit into that? Because we'll probably have to do.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to do another appraisal now because things change, so
Yeah.
that should be appraisal should be covered. What can't be covered is the actual purchase of the property, and then some of the court costs once we're actually fully in the actual court proceedings, but leading up to it, my understanding was quite a bit could be covered.
I think maybe, we may need to do another appraisal for, French Wainwright, and we may need to do another for CNC. So those are 5,000 each. Wouldn't hurt to put a little bit more into admin, to cover those, because those are, I think those are valid expenses and not really related to, they're not related to the eminent domain exactly, because really it's going to be an offer letter that we're going to send before we go to court. So, if we need to, so, I think having, some money in there for the two appraisals would be a good idea.
That's under appraisal. What do we have left under that?
Well, I think we closed that appraisals, licenses, fees. We already closed that one. Hold on, let me see.
Well, we closed it, but wouldn't it go back under there if we were gonna put,
Appraisals,
if we're gonna
licenses.
have to do another?
Oh, no, we still have like 12,000 in there because we were gonna, that was for the individual
It's
properties.
all- And I believe it's also covering some of the LAFCO.
I'm not sure. I think it was like 1,000 per property and there was like 12 properties or something.
Yeah,
That's for the easements.
Yes, for the easements. That's what that is. That's what we have left in there.
So I think we need more under there, and then I think most of the rest of it needs to be under admin.
Okay, so we're putting 20 in to cover the board fees. And how much are we putting for legal? Anything? So we're putting 20 for board fees.
don't
We're putting 10. You said 10 in admin? Oh no, 10 in appraisal. So that's 30. So we have like 36,000 left, 36,000 something left that we have to distribute somewhere.
Yeah, so if you're putting, well, I would put a little higher in appraisals, licenses and access, because I'm still concerned that we're not covering all the LAFCO fees and all that, and I'm pretty sure those go under there. So I think you're probably, what did you say, 10? You probably need to put 15 under appraisal, licenses and access if we only have, what do we have left, 11?
Yeah,
So maybe we only need 10, I don't know.
no, it's got, we know we're gonna spend 10.
Yeah, well, why don't you put 15 under appraisal, license, access?
Mhm.
20
And,
under.
I believe this is something D
administrative.
is gonna have to do. So D, you writing these down?
say again, Carlos.
I was saying, I think this is something that Lawrence is looking at you to do since he directed that email towards you about looking over the budget and sending it back to him. So if you want to write these down,
Why don't you send them to me on an email or something so I can, craft a reply
okay, well,
tomorrow morning?
Well, he needs to justify it, so I think we need to justify that we're still gonna have additional appraisal, easement. And LAFCO costs that are gonna go under appraisals, licenses and access.
okay, I'm gonna write how much we're gonna ask for so I can send it to D later. So 20,
I know, but can you write those little notes of what it's for too? So that he can,
yeah.
so it's LAFCO, easement,
Hang
and
on a second,
additional
let me-
appraisal.
Let me get to the part where I'm adding it. So we're adding 15,000, right?
Yes,
So plus
are you guys
15,000
good with that?
Yeah, at least that.
Or do you think it should be more than that?
for LAFCO and appraisals, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Yeah, I don't know what the LAFCO fees are gonna be, but we're getting ready to submit the MSR. And I'm sure there'll be some fees along with that.
Yeah, because the stuff under the consolidation MSR is just for the is really covering the MSR, not like the LAFCO stuff. As far as I know,
You think there'll be more than 5,000?
no, it shouldn't.
Not sure.
I know that way back in the day when I was first doing this, I think the fees were like 2,000 something. So I'm sure they're probably, and that was like 5 years ago, so they're probably up higher.
Yeah, I would guess. Probably 5 is a good estimate.
Then maybe we better put 20 in there.
Wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so 20,000.
And 20,000 under management admin, so that's already 40,000. Out of what? 76.
76.
So that leaves like 36.
76,832. So there's still $36,832 to.
I do believe we need more under legal.
Okay, so how much?
36.
Yeah, he said there's gonna be a bunch of that.
I'm afraid it's gonna be a lot,
That's
so
why I said
that's
that.
why I almost wanna put it under legal, because we already changed the engineering stuff by adding money under the engineering report. And we already changed the environmental documents by adding money. The engineering design is not changed, but we're not through that right now. And then all the rest of the stuff we should be kind of done with, right? So really it's the MSR, should we put additional money, so that should have enough money. So I really think it's like legal costs, maybe a little bit more under consolidation engineering, because that's admin. That's like these admin charges, which you said you only had a small amount left, right?
Well, there's $11,150 in it.
Oh, okay, that's not that small.
All right.
Because we had raised that to 45 from 17, so. Yeah, I mean, I might split it between, I just don't know what legal we can. It was very unclear to me the last time we talked to Lawrence, and I don't know if you guys had another conversation with Lawrence in the state update, but it was
He wasn't
still
there.
really fuzzy to me exactly what. He said that some stuff we could justify before anything until we're like physically in court, if we have to go to court. So, and then that has to come out of our pocket, as does the actual purchase of the property if we have to purchase it beforehand. Or we could purchase under construction, but we can't purchase under planning.
Okay.
So, I would kind of put it mostly like split between management administration, but split in those different areas, and then the,
Take another 20.
and then the appraisals, licenses and access.
So what are we gonna do with the 36? Needs to go in legal. How much?
I almost would break up like 20 more into legal, but break it up into the two different categories. Because one of the legal categories is just like all our consultation with them, and then the other part is the actual legal we need for the consolidation, right? What's the difference? The
Well,
consolidation is.
Like I said before, you guys had set up two different budgets, one for just the regular legal stuff that like for meetings or whatever calls, and the other legal was for the actual condemnation of the property or for the.
Right, but we've used a lot more in legal than we thought we were gonna use, because we've
Yeah,
had a
but
lot
the thing
of.
is that since Lauren said we couldn't pay for that, that's why we
No,
ended up
he
with
said-
different legals.
he said we could pay for the pre-talks, we just can't pay for actual condemnation if we choose and have to go forward on that.
I know, but we had set aside that money for the actual condemnation as well. But now we have two legals and it doesn't matter. So if you guys want to put 10, I'll put 10 in one and 10 in the other.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, but that's,
Because if we have to move from one legal to another, I don't think that's a big deal. I just don't wanna be trying to move from something where we have trouble justifying
okay, we
it.
still have 16,000. Gonna do something right. $2,832.
And
Do you wanna put that additional money under, just in case, D, under environmental?
I think environmental is pretty well covered. I'm hoping it's gonna be a little less.
Okay,
So I think we're in pretty good shape there.
then should the rest of it go under design, which is 16,000? We haven't, how much have we spent on design? We haven't been doing it under design. We've been doing under engineering report, correct?
Yes.
we've only charged one item to design, which was like $8,894.51.
So, my preference would be push it up into engineering report. We'll pull it out if we don't need it. We're working in that area right now and not that so much on design. And so whatever we have left there, we can move it back into design. I'm sure we'll need it there eventually. That'd be, what I'm thinking might be the best way to do that. So we don't.
Okay, so far we got 20, 30, 40, 60,000. So we have like $16,832. I think that's.
Mhm.
Right, so that would go under, engineering report,
Okay, so put it under engineering report.
because that's where you're charging everything to at this point, right? All the PER, all these weird things that we were charging in all these different areas like test well, all of that is now being charged under report, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
except the design of well 8, 9 that's being charged to engineering.
So for actual design of the entire thing, which we're not quite in the middle of that yet.
Yeah, but they must have the 1632 in them.
Yeah, so I guess put that 16 in there.
Okay, so I'll send these numbers to you, D.
Okay.
The only thing is that he also has like original amounts for some of the other numbers that he's got as well.
Original amounts for what?
Like, let me get onto the email.
Did we finish with fish and wildlife fees, or are we gonna have more?
Well, that'll be part of the, I think just Fish and Wildlife was a pretty minor charge.
It's only like 2,000, I think.
Yeah, $2,000. Most of, any of those issues will be covered in the CEQA.
Yeah, because he's got why is it showing me this? Yeah, because he used he used the numbers on the left-hand side that don't change from the budget that I send on the claims. So he's got all those numbers and they're not the actual numbers anymore. That's why he's got the 119,189 on there. So we're gonna have to,
That was the problem, because if they really remove that, and we've already put stuff in other places, we have issues. So I'm very concerned about them removing money from contingency to nowhere.
Well, but he's gonna zero it
I
out.
know.
Then they won't be able to remove anything.
So we just have to make sure that that's clearly justified, Dee, so that they don't decide that they need to remove contingency. Because he's got the contingency numbers wrong right now.
you know, I'm gonna reach out to Lawrence tomorrow and see if I can get some kind of feedback from him that he's got numbers that were the original numbers that we don't have that amount that he has in there anymore. So like, for instance, test wells, he's got, I mean, he still got this, it still comes out to the same number, except that we don't have,
Yeah, we had zeroed some of that stuff out. We zeroed test well out.
yeah, cause see, like
We're done with
environmental
that.
documents, he's got 56,216, but we actually have 100,000 in there now.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that we have stuff in the right places.
I'll reach out to him tomorrow and let him know that the numbers that he's got on this sheet are different. I mean, than what we got. And cause we moved all, I mean, we don't have the 119,189 in anymore because we moved some numbers. So I'm gonna reach out to him tomorrow.
So can you send a follow-up email that's not part of a thread? That's just
Yeah.
like a new email that's a follow-up so that it actually shows up easily?
Yeah,
Just letting us know the status of what you talked to them
Yeah,
about?
who should he send
okay,
that
so
to?
I'll send the email, but
That's-
I'm not gonna send it to the whole board. So who should I send it to? Just
No,
Rama and Gerald?
no,
or-
it should come from- no, because they're only doing the state update. So anything in between has to be me and Roma.
Okay, I'll send it to you and Brahma then. And
Because
D.
otherwise we're doing a serial meeting.
Okay.
Carlos, have you looked at your Form 260? Maybe he's taking the budget from there and then just hasn't seen the, taken the new updated budget from you guys. Just a thought.
Yeah, that's where he's getting it from the original numbers from Form 260.
Okay.
But he's got a couple numbers that are updated and some that aren't, because he does have engineering report as 76,897.
I have 79 on here.
Yeah, and that's like I said, I don't know where where he gets those numbers. So
Uh,
Mhm.
Is there an understanding?
So are we good? Can we move on?
yeah,
Are
we can move on.
Okay.
Thank you. We're just on number B now.
Mhm.
Letter B, discussion vote on a project extension memo.
What's the request?
Extension request.
Oh, sorry. Project extension request. What do we do
Didn't
about
we
that?
already do that, Dee?
Yes,
I saw an email in regard to that. Yeah, in regard to that.
yeah,
Let me
that's-
look at this. I have an email talking about the 6-month extension.
We
Yes,
had a letter that we.
that went to Lawrence, July 27th.
Yeah, July 27th attaches our request for a 6-month extension of the work completion dates.
Yeah.
From December 31st, 2024 to June 30th, 2025. But Carlos, you were saying that there was another issue with that, or no?
With which one?
With the extension date?
No, I don't think, I didn't say anything about that.
Oh. So that's already gone out, so we're just waiting. Did you guys talk about that on the state update? Okay,
What's that?
did you talk about the 6-month extension?
Lawrence wasn't on, remember? Lawrence wasn't on the meeting, so.
No, he wasn't even with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I guess we can move on, because see, they have the letter, we just haven't talked to them.
Okay, see, discussion vote on the project technical memo.
Working on it, it's in process.
No.
Okay. Discussion vote on the acquisition and development of well number 8 property.
We've been
Wait,
talking about
closed
that.
session. Closed session and 9, it was closed session.
Discussion vote on the acquisition and development of well 9 property.
So that's what our meeting is, so those are both covered, I guess, we're just waiting to have a meeting. 9 and 8, we're waiting for them to send out an offer.
Okay, discussion vote on the district sphere of influence map.
That's tabled.
Discussion vote on the project municipal service review. The quote, draft, MSR, data collection, scope of work, and LAFCO.
Ravish is moving ahead with the preparation. I note that he's had some communication with Pam regarding Lake of the Woods, and thanks for replying so quickly, Pam. He'll incorporate those comments into the MSR. So he's moving on through it. I'm guessing, you know, I keep thinking it's going to be the next Friday, but it just takes time to sift through all this stuff. So anyway, he is moving ahead with it, and I'll say, yeah, next week or the week after that, but he's moving ahead with it.
Okay, discussion vote on the memorandum of understanding.
That's really to be put off until
Till later. Table.
later still. I mean, we didn't table it, but
We can table it until you want me to put it back. Or you can give me a month to put it back on.
it's gonna be more than a month, and that was what,
I mean, they-
Carlos was talking about, the fact that we may not even get to that fully until the construction, but it's definitely towards the end of this whole project.
So table it until November.
Yeah, we can always table it again, so.
Okay. Discussion vote on Lake of the Woods project and consolidation.
So I have nothing new to report, guys. Everything's still moving along with our project. And we still don't have the designs for the 5 million yet or generator information. So same old, guys.
Thank you, Pam. Discussion vote on claims and payouts. We don't have any, do
Next
we?
time, next week.
Okay.
Can I ask Carlos a question real quick? Carlos, we haven't gotten any claims from the state in a couple of months now, so it's gone dry. Have you heard anything, or are they catching up?
I haven't heard anything. I haven't got any emails. What's the last one you've gotten that was approved?
I wanna say, oh, I haven't even gotten any approval emails in a very long time.
Yeah,
Those kind of
me neither.
stopped, I
So
think the last one. 28.
28, yeah, I haven't got any, I haven't had any emails that says we need more info or anything, so, and not, I haven't got any approval ones either.
Hey guys, so just
Okay.
so you know that I just finally got a check for something I submitted back at the end of June. So it's been delayed. You know that their end of their cycle is the end of June, beginning of July. So I'm just starting to see the ripple now.
That's better than what we've got.
Is
Thank you,
it?
Pam.
Oh,
Thank you,
sorry.
Pam.
I thought I thought it was helping.
I think,
It's not.
I think ours was before the end of June, right?
Or,
The last,
Last claim that.
oh, yeah, before.
Moving on to number 13, discussion vote update on the FPPUD meter replacement project and emergency well supply project. A, discussion vote update on well number 7.
Get a final call.
where are we at with capping the well and all that, D? You're muted.
The, yeah, I was eating dinner. I am. Curtis prepared a review of the contract and what is left of the contract, the, revised contract amount. And I think he sent that to the board.
Yeah, we did all that, but that wasn't including the capping, so that was. We never unless Jerry, I don't know, because now that we're separated, so I'm not sure what you guys are doing, but. The last we talked about it, we didn't have the capping of the well as part of those numbers.
What he sent,
Nor did we have all of, there was a few missing items.
what he sent out, I think, he's not in the office right now, but
You're saying you said
for the
an
capping
hour
of
ago?
the well, 30,791.25 as a contract changeover now. And the additional cost for the fencing, 21,193.75. So those are numbers and the contractor, if the board so desires, will direct the contractor to move ahead. So the total of those about 52,000.
Yeah, I have, oh. Maybe I do have that, hold on. Another thread.
Yeah, he sent 24th, I think, a complete discussion of what is really all the expenses. He included all the invoices.
Okay, the
Yep.
remaining work to be completed includes the following: abandon well number 7 by filling with cement and capping in accordance with the county of Kern well destruction guidelines, to restore the site fencing that was removed, and final work site cleanup. Contract termination costs. Okay, we still didn't have a determination from the last state update meeting on what the state was gonna do. Are they gonna let us keep things? Are they taking things? That we didn't have a determination on either.
They, at least,
So I have,
they will not keep our stuff. We've got to find places to store it. They will not keep warehousing for us. They
I didn't think they were gonna keep warehousing for us. I thought they were gonna take, we didn't know if they were going to take it or not. So if they're not gonna take it and we're allowed to take it, then
Oh, yeah.
yes, of course, we're gonna store it.
Yeah.
So,
Place for it, John?
sure.
You'll find places.
So I have Ferguson Waterworks, 18,160.75.
Let's see.
Journey Air Conditioning, 9,177 for a total of 27,337.75. These materials will become the property of the district and may be utilized as part of the future well projects. It's recommended that the district take inventory of these materials and store them in a secure location prior to making final payment. So Ferguson is valves, bolts, nuts, gaskets, eye wash, injection quill, PVC pipe, pipe supports, pressure gauges, etc. 18,160.75. And Journey Air Conditioning is well building enclosure, AC unit, grills, wall sleeves, thermostat, and louvers, 9,177. And then there's all the submittals and overhead that I thought we already paid for. I believe we paid all these things already.
The, you mean the ones on the following
Submittal.
page? The project management costs?
Yes.
I'm not sure that we have paid it yet. I think we're just wanting to make sure the board's okay with all this, and the,
I thought we not make that one payment. I thought we had a large payment but there was stuff missing from it that we were questioning.
The last payment was progress payment 3. Curtis sent it along with that information. But I emailed him and told him that had been paid.
August. It's really hard to read on my phone. I mean, I have 51,985 to complete the remaining work. Remaining work costs. Abandonment of well 7. And restoration of chain link fencing.
mhm. Yes. Yeah, the well 7 abandonment is 30,791.25. And the site fencing 21,193.75. So those are the two things that remain to be done.
So that's 85,712.25, and then there's still 34,000 retention.
Yeah.
So that comes to 199,5281, but some of that's not gonna get paid until the well is physically abandoned. We've signed off on it. The fencing's back up. We have all the materials. We don't have any of that stuff yet. So that's why we haven't paid that final amount, and then the rest of it's retention.
I think, Elisa, probably what we should do, if the board's okay with where we are right now, we haven't forwarded this to Lawrence yet. So we're thinking we would go ahead and forward it to, once the board says, okay, we'll forward it to Lawrence, and then we can talk about it. Either have an ad hoc committee meeting or talk about it at our state meeting and make sure, or just get an email that says, yeah, he's fine with it. And then we can go ahead and order the work to be done. But we wanted to make sure that Lawrence was all right before we went ahead as well, the board and then Lawrence.
So do you want to send? I mean, it's like weird now because we're not. I don't know how much communication is going back and forth between the state update, and Burma's not here. Jerry's here, but Lawrence wasn't there. So weren't really able to talk about it. So do you want to do that? I mean, what's first, the chicken or the egg? You want to talk to Lawrence first at the state update meeting next week? And then we send this off after the next meeting, or do you wanna have an okay from us now to send it to Lawrence so that he can see it, so you can discuss it at the state update?
Right, I think that's the right thing to do. Then he's got something that he can look at and critique. If he has any problems with it, then he can tell us at that time.
I think it'd be better, I mean.
Yeah, because you know how long it takes to get him to move on something.
Trying to see who this gets sent to, let's see, it gets sent to me. Okay, so the board doesn't have this to look at. So,
Most of the time we don't.
huh?
Most of the time we don't.
So do we want to give this to the board to look at so that they can make a decision right now? Do we want to send it? I mean, I kind of read it, so basically. The costs for the remaining work associated with the well abandoned fence site is exactly what, so it's that amounts that we had at the last meeting. Plus, they had not included the amount to actually abandon the well and to actually cap the well and to put the fence back up. So that added 50,000. So it was at 85. Let me pull it back up. And then it's the retention from all three progress payments.
Right. I
So
think
it's,
if the board so desires, we can send this to Lawrence. And then between now and Thursday, if there's any changes or any mistakes or anything in it, I know Curtis is very, very careful about this. And so I don't think we're going to find a penny off, but anyway, but if we do find something that we want to question, we can bring that up at the state.
yeah, because it was off, remember? So you repaired the part that was off. When we looked at it before the state update last time, there were some amounts that were off that Director Nyman caught. So
Yeah,
that got repaired? I don't have it in front of me. Okay.
yes.
So then, do you want to print? You have a copy of this.
You don't need it,
You need it? You don't need it? Okay.
because we can,
My gosh.
my understanding is they've got to talk to Lawrence still about all of it before he even comes back, so once they talk to Lawrence, then we can get it and then we can approve it.
Okay, so as long as you guys are okay with that, I'm okay with that. So we would just send this whole letter that Curtis sent, the technical
Okay.
memorandum
I'm
to
good.
Lawrence.
Okay,
Yeah, that's our recommendation.
So, now,
discussion vote update on the meter replacement.
Only update I have is what I gave last time. I haven't heard anything since, they did the propagation study, so,
that got done.
yeah, that got done.
Okay.
Or they
thank
got
you.
all the information that they needed for it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, they did.
Discussion vote update. Oh, no, discussion vote on claims and payouts. We don't have any, right?
Nope.
Discussion vote update on bridge loan requests and payments. We're good, aren't we?
We're good.
Number 14. Discussion vote on pipeline replacement project. A, discussion vote update on potholing and mapping.
So yeah, I met with Dee, we went over plans, they, look like greatest majority of everything's done, planned out. Since I added some extra concerns to think about, that's still more. The plans I looked at were not even, I mean, it was all designed, although there were some corrections that Curtis had made, or D or both, and then, Matt said that he had already changed them on the computer, so I think we're really close to finishing that up. As usual, I've been entertaining the thought that if we can do something as a district with Julian Trail ahead of time, we could possibly move that money to a different area, like replace some of the Wolf to McGee pipeline instead. But so anyway, they're gonna design it all, and then we'll see where we stand when they start figuring out what it's gonna actually cost.
Thank you, Johnny. B, discussion vote on engineering and design.
Pretty much the same thing.
Are we there yet?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Bless you.
Thank you.
discussion vote on the project budget.
Not there.
We're not there yet, right?
Right.
Discussion vote on the project plans and specifications ditto, right?
Right.
Yeah, because we need all that stuff for the project application, but he needs to have everything.
So we don't need to discuss it.
No,
15, discussion vote update on Cal OES.
So what,
committee.
I do have a question before we go off of this. So when are we thinking about that we can have that project application in? Because if we don't have it in soon, we may not have. I mean, wasn't there's some issues about the money, right? So
Mhm.
when's a projected date that we might be able to have stuff ready for the application?
Just
I
probably,
know Director Nyman's pressing on that a lot.
Mhm.
probably, realistically, probably September 15th, but we're shooting for the end of the month. And it's just for working through the plans. Matt's working through the plans and made pretty much all the changes that we need to make. One thing we do have to do is look at the hydraulics and the connectivity of the pipelines to the Wolf and to the Elm, to the McGee, and make sure that we're supplying water the most reasonable method and way to the summit area. So we'll be looking at.
Carlos, are we still within, like, when's, is there a drop dead date on this project application? Is there still money? Has everybody else in the world applied for this and we haven't applied for it yet?
Well, we do have the general app in, but, I mean, there's no specific deadline for this, but we do.
But you
do
know
have a
if the
deadline.
money's already going.
I'm not sure about that, about the monies, but we do have a deadline as far as the work plan goes. We do have deadlines to meet. I don't have them on hand. I'd have to look at it, but we did do an update to them because some of the original deadlines have passed already.
Can you revisit that and have that for us at the next meeting? Because I'm concerned that we might be. I mean, we just,
No, well, these deadlines from the actual work plan, they're still quite a bit of ways. So it's not like we're there, but we did already pass all the original deadlines that we had for this. So it's just, I guess it'd be a matter of asking Lawrence, hey,
is there still a pool of money?
yeah,
Or
I mean,
have they started
supposedly this
distributing
money-
that?
supposedly this money was somewhat set aside, but we still, I mean, we can't submit the application until we have the plans and specs and the design done basically, and then
But
we get a better number as to, because we did actually we just need plans and specs done, and then we would need the environmental done and stuff, and because we would have to submit the environmental, because we have 4 different packets we have to submit: the general package, the environmental, the financial packet, and the technical package. So we can't submit the environmental package without the environmental being done.
Right, I guess I'm just asking this because we always take a lot longer than we think. Not, I mean, it's not that's normal, but I'm just wondering if, since I'm not at the state update meeting anymore, if that's something that we can just make sure that we're still,
Well, we
that
can-
everything's
we can
still
have Lawrence
okay.
at the state update meeting, we can bring it up and say, hey, you know, do we have a deadline to submit this application before we run out of money, or? I mean, it's not like if he says we have to submit it by next month, we're not gonna do it anyways. So, but we still
Then we
gotta,
can't.
yeah,
Well, remember there was like they were whole earmarking money, but there was also this like DWR set aside, but I think we're already at that year that, you know, we were saying like a year.
yeah, we had a year
Um,
to make a decision to go, and I think we're probably past
Right,
it. So,
yeah. So I guess that's why I'm asking. So I don't know, but if that's something I think, Jerry, you might wanna, yeah, stay on to see if we're,
Just for your information, Tom Dodson is working on the environmental now. He was up last weekend to view all the different trails that we're installing the pipe on. And we've communicated today.
oh, D, just to make sure, on the invoices that you submit to us for the sheet funding, make sure you put down which task you're working on. I know this last invoice that you sent to me, it's all task 27, which is all like plans and specs. But we do have all these other tasks like geotechnical and environmental, and so if they're working on any of those, we got to charge to those tasks. And you do have those numbers. I sent them to you, so
Yeah, I do have them.
okay.
Okay, so now moving on to Cal OES. And that means you can go now, Carlos, right?
Alrighty, thank you. We'll talk to you guys at the next meeting.
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Carlos.
Carlos,
Okay, discussion vote
Okay, we'll see you guys.
on the purchase of generator done. Discussion vote on engineering and design.
Well, the purchase of the generators is not completely done because we still have,
Well, good, let's talk about it for a half hour.
Load bank.
Like 4 minutes to go and contingency.
You have any input, Johnny?
For all practical purposes, we can just move on to just design and engineering. So if Dee has an update on when the design might be done, then I will start planning that, just put them there.
That would be great.
I know
So
Curtis.
Dee,
I don't have a date for you. I did talk to Curtis right after the meeting. And Jerry, you and Johnny met with Curtis and reviewed the sites. I don't know where he is on that right now. I just forgot to ask him.
All right.
thank you.
Okay, number 16, we've tabled because I don't have any information.
Okay.
Okay. You want to push our way through or take a break?
Push our way through.
Okay. 17, discussion vote on a temporary change to the financial ad hoc committee.
I think that's all we need, Dee, for too.
Yeah,
Oh, yes,
that is all
sorry.
in-house stuff.
Thank you, Dee.
I'm sorry that you're falling off your horse.
Hey, listen, I got bucked off my horse. I didn't fall off. There's a difference.
Great here.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, cowboy.
Anyhow, I'll.
Have a good night, Dee.
Okay.
Night,
good night.
Dee.
Good night.
Discussion vote on temporary change to the financial ad hoc committee.
I don't know how we're gonna vote on this because we don't have enough
Enough to do it.
people. But the
But-
issue is coming up immediately because the ad hoc, because Terry can't be here, so I guess I can just do it by myself. I don't know.
It's not that I can't, I won't, I'll be on vacation, so I will not be able to
You will
attend,
not be
Oh,
able to
okay.
attend.
okay?
So I guess the best thing would be, because we can't vote on, because what I was suggesting is Becky be put temporarily back on the ad hoc because
No.
Terry's gonna be gone. Excuse me?
I said no.
Okay,
Moving along?
then, well, you can't just move along, then you need to, no. Then you need to okay me doing it by myself.
Will you be here long enough to report on it?
Yeah.
I'll be here in 2 weeks, so.
That's fine.
I don't know, because the ad hoc.
It's fine.
I
When
mean,
does
I
it
don't
meet?
think we have to vote on that because you've done it before.
It's a, I don't know, well, yeah, you kind of have to, because there was 2 people on it, I mean, we voted that Jerry do it by himself, but yeah, I mean.
No, you
don't
couldn't,
have to-
when
it's not
Becky
a-
couldn't come.
It's not a vote, it just would be good if you had a group,
Like a vote of confidence.
a vote of confidence or consensus that it's okay, because it's really supposed to be 2 people, otherwise we would have to put it on.
When do they meet? Or when is the next meeting when you'll be gone?
Next week.
It's next week,
Yeah, I'm gone for the next 2 weeks.
and it's just, the issue is.
What date is it? I don't even know. when
We're
we'll be
supposed to
here.
get stuff to the auditors as fast as possible.
I, for one, am okay with you moving ahead by yourself.
Okay.
Anybody else?
That's fine.
Agreed, right?
Agreed.
Agreed.
Okay, 18, discussion vote update on the district financial policy.
Yeah, these are the changes that you made.
Yeah, so this was originally passed in the 2018. So it needed to be updated. Original is in black. Any of the changes that I proposed are in red. And please feel free to make as many changes to those as you want. I just kind of did an outline shell to get going, but none of it's written in stone, so. Like, yeah, if you look at some of the reports, we're not doing some of the reports anymore on page 2, so I lined those out. Added a new report. Listed the bank accounts in our financial policy. And then on 3, maintenance guidelines for reserve account.
Can I
ask
one question?
Yeah, 1 second. Maintenance guidelines, that's kind of what we're putting in there and where it's coming from. And then some of the suggestions from was it the financial ad hoc? Yeah. Okay, sorry, Lisa, go ahead.
I think we still do a systems total.
Not in the, like, if you look at number 9, those are the reports you get every month.
No, we never got.
I
it.
get-
The
I get the
reports happen and they go to
I
our
get-
bookkeeper.
I get the system storage report every month too, and that's.
They
so I
need
can
to-
do- Yeah, so we're still getting them, but
But they're not going to the board, just,
Yeah.
it can still be in the list then?
Yeah, it needs to happen. It's a thing that we do. Because the bookkeeper has to reconcile it. It just
Just
doesn't go to the
publish.
board.
Yeah, because if you look under number 2, it said they're prepared and distributed to the board for review, so that's why I took it out.
Maybe you need to just put it in a different section and just they're prepared because you don't want them not doing a system. total.
And or,
well, we
Like-
can't not do it because you can't close out the month without.
yeah, so,
Yeah, but it's still like this is a overall. It's not just the board, it's overall our policies, right? So,
yeah, we can add, so it says and distributed to the board and or the general manager, and then we.
and
put
general
that-
manager and bookkeeper for reconciliation.
Yeah, bookkeepers, the first one is listed.
Yeah, by the bookkeeper and billing clerk.
Yeah, so it just needs to be clarified.
So we can put general manager and board.
Yeah, so I wouldn't get rid of them, they just don't need to go to the board, because
Right.
people weren't reading, people didn't understand them anyway. And it really just needs to be reconciled by the bookkeeper.
So systems totals is okay, rate code report is okay. adjustment report is good, but not the detailed general ledger because that's just not being produced for you guys anymore.
Yeah, she's not doing it for the board, but that's where there really needs to be something that says what she does for the quarterlies and for the, because she is doing like a more detailed. She's doing a report, but it's not this, it's not a detailed general ledger that's going to the whole board, it's like a detailed profit and loss and a detailed, that's like, she's got a quarterly profit and loss and a quarterly balance sheet that's going to the
Standing
financial standing committee. That probably needs to be in there, and then she's also got for the audit, she's got but that's gonna fall away, so I don't know, because right now we're doing it just because we're trying to play catch up. But eventually the standing committee is just gonna be that quarterly stuff, and then, I guess you could still say at the very end of them going over it for the 4 quarters, that there'd be a report for like a final thing that you go over at the very end before it goes to the auditor.
So once a year, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Makes sense.
Okay.
Have we discussed everything on this
No,
resolution? No?
we probably need to do, if you're gonna look at it, definitely the maintenance guidelines need a good.
So should we just not like finish this today and we just like look at it and take it home and see what's missing or what you can add? And
Yeah,
One of the things that we went through is that we're not getting monies into some of our other accounts.
right, so that was like a biggie that we were talking about on the one of the committees, on the ad hoc.
On the ad hoc.
Because, okay, the emergency account replaces itself because when we replace when somebody buys into the system, that goes, or when somebody even does that $200 and a proposed buy into the system for like water, that goes in to replace different things, like that fund can be used for hydrants and emergency stuff. So that's that emergency stuff, but the SLA does not replenish itself, and we need to have money. So we had talked about the SLA being, and it's here, this distribution, that the standby and some of the other stuff go into the SLA account.
because you had asked for it to go to the emergency reserve because we're not doing new connections. So it needed to
See, I already forgot what.
yeah, so it needed to be.
So some of it needs to go, okay, so the taxes were gonna go to the emergency reserve, but then we still need to figure out how to replenish the SLA. So actually, the SLA could just be the way that we're doing the capital, we're putting in, what is it, 20,000?
20,000.
Right now, but it could be like 15 into the capital and 5 into the SLA, so that it's
So we're gonna have,
replenishing it.
that's something that you guys are gonna have to probably discuss. Or come next month, we're gonna have to discuss, are we going to still be able to even put 20,000 into the capital?
Because
improvement?
we're money, right?
We're not having enough money. So we may have to, we took it from 30 to 20, but we may have to reduce it some more.
And it was less than that too, it was
It
like.
just depends on if we have big maintenance costs to come in again. Most months, we don't have big maintenance
But
costs.
we've had a lot.
We happen to have a couple months in a row where we got hit hard by maintenance costs, so. You know, we can only hope that that goes down, and chances are it will, so. We just gotta see what.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, to say, oh yeah, let's just start throwing 15 over there, right, at this moment, we don't have that.
Right.
So we'll just revisit
Because
that.
at this moment, you actually took money out of it to pay for
Yes,
one of the big
Bills.
maintenance costs.
yes,
Is this because we had the labor crisis and we had to increase?
I don't know.
Well, part of it is everything has gone through the
Yes,
roof.
true that.
Everything that we do has gone through the roof, so obviously our budget or our Prop 218 in our budget that we planned for, nobody in the whole world could have foreseen the price increases that we're subjected to now.
True.
Well, one of the things from doing the quarterly that you will have is that because we're doing the quarterly and because the ad hoc is almost caught up with the audit, the way that Deborah is doing it now is she is flagging what goes to budget and what doesn't go to budget, so that there's like a list of everything as it goes through that will allow her to see what is normal operating budget as opposed to what's asset stuff. So it should be easier to come up with the normal operating budget once once the standing committee, well, as the standing committee goes on and once the missing audit's done.
So basically, the maintenance costs have spiked the last 2 months.
Yeah,
Everything's spiked. Even if you look at our Edison bill, it went up another $1,000, a little over 1,000.
Wow.
It's at 8,000 now, 8,000 something. But this is also the middle. I mean, this is the high part of the summer.
So we're pumping
Yeah.
water like crazy.
Yeah.
So,
now we go to 21. Can't do anything else. And 21, you might want to table too, but we could at least talk about it.
How much is, oh, yeah. We tabled 19 this morning.
Well,
Yeah, we did already, right?
Mhm.
So 21, do we know how much this machine is?
yeah, I applied for a grant and the grant knocked off a ton of money off it. And then if you look in your books, it gives you the different types that you can order. The CPR lady recommended that we make sure that when we buy one, that it doesn't say, instructional only, because they sell those too, like the ones we practiced with. It looks like the first one, $1,100 is, everything that's necessary. She recommended we all have it. I think every public spot, Home Depot's and Ace Hardware's and everything else where people go need it, but I can tell by Terry's head shaking, negative head shaking that she just runs right off the bat.
first of all, okay, you want to, if you're gonna have one in the truck, in every truck,
No, in the office. In the
okay,
front office where they go. And first of all, I don't want this at all, Terry, just so you know, I'm not asking you to please
No,
give me money. I'm saying that maybe if one of us has a heart attack during a board meeting, we might want to have a defibrillator out front, So it's up to you guys to discuss it.
well,
Doesn't matter to
no.
me.
My problem with these things, there's one in the library, okay?
Okay,
They're not open during our meeting.
They're not only open not during our meetings, they're not open during the night, they're not open during
The
the
day,
weekend, they're not open during the day.
well, you
If
have like,
somebody in the park is having a heart attack and you need to get,
you have
one of
6
these
minutes.
things.
You have 6 minutes to try to.
you're
save
not gonna
somebody
be able
lives.
to track one down.
Well, what about the people that come in and almost fall out in the lobby because they walk over here from the park and they're paying their bill? Or any of
And
the.
you guys
other
all
issues.
went through the training to be able to use it?
Yeah, we're all certified,
Jackie and I can
Including
do-
Tanya?
including
Yeah.
Tanya.
So I don't see why we shouldn't have one that's at least in the office. I don't really see putting them in the trucks.
it might save my life.
And the ones that are in the office, I mean, they're made for,
We have so much
Anybody.
public coming in that I don't see if we have people that are trained to use it, it seems like
well, and
there's no hospital up here. We wouldn't get to the clinic in 6 minutes. The library's not open.
And
Like, where else is there one? There isn't. The post office probably doesn't have it. The ambulance is gonna take 20 minutes to get to you,
and let me
so.
tell you something, the guy across the street was having an OD and he thought he was having a heart attack. Station 57 showed up. They don't have a paramedic on 57s either. So they just stood around and waited.
Mhm.
They wouldn't have had anything either. So
No,
The fire department don't even have nothing.
no.
Station-
Here, on this mountain, the only place they have one is the library.
And Hall Ambulance has got life saving and Station 56 in the back and Station 58 and Pine Mountain Club, but nobody else has got.
Community
So-
church.
And
Oh,
these
okay.
right here are
We're-
designed
public entity that people pay money into and taxes and all kinds of stuff, I think that that is a
Good reason.
I don't think that we should.
Good
just say-
it's just,
As the senior member of the board, I may save my life. I am a past heart, patient,
from it too.
so
Yeah,
I've had
these things
quadruple
are-
bypass surgery.
And these things are designed to where even if you haven't been trained,
Oh, you can
you can
still use
operate them.
it. Yeah.
Because you just attach it
You just open
itself.
it up.
It will open it up and it tells you.
It will not shock somebody that doesn't need shocking.
Okay,
Yeah, it talks you through it.
I don't know, I mean, I'm not gonna be here, but as a member of the public, if I walked in to pay my bill and I was like, it'd be really nice to have a defibrillator in here that says,
Yes, huh?
yeah, you know what?
And just so you know,
Jerry? Sorry,
I move that we authorize Johnny to make a purchase of one of these things, keep in the office.
maybe
I
you
mean-
could approve up to, cause I wanna call these people and talk to them about the differences between the $1,100 one and the $1,400 one. But I also think we should spend $89 on the cabinet with alarm that you mount on the wall. So if somebody opens it and there, nobody's having a heart attack, the alarm goes off and they can't walk out with our AED. That's only $89, so that's,
$14.99.
yeah, that's the next step up. And then the alarm cabinet is down here on the bottom of the page, the front page.
What, did she give a recommendation?
No, she just said to make sure that, she said they're all basically the same, but just make sure that we don't get a, one that's only for training and not,
Oh,
you know,
would that be a
cause that's happened.
motor
You know, it
scooter?
sounded like that's happened before. People go, oh, I'm gonna buy one. But I think more than likely I'll get the $1,100 one and then this $89 cabinet. To put it in. And these things are also listed, I forget exactly how she said on an app or they're listed. And then everybody around, other fire departments and everybody knows
That it's here.
exactly where it's at. So say they are at the park and something happens, they know, hey, send somebody to the water company. They got one. So, you know, and me personally, I would bust through a glass door if it was closed to get something to save somebody's life. I think that would be fully justified. You know what I mean? So I'm sure the fire department wouldn't have a problem with knocking our window in to grab one.
Breaking and entering.
Yeah.
They would. They wouldn't do it.
It's
well,
like,
there's a motion on the floor.
okay,
Does someone
so
want to second it? That motion.
I'll second it.
Roll
Well, I
call.
just want, will you just do your due diligence on the research to make sure it's.
just like I always do, I'll make sure.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Kellen. Aye. Gibson, aye. 4-0, 1 absent. Motion carried. Now,
So will we also put it like on our website, or put it somewhere besides just that app? So that it, like like places within the, whatever it is, 6 minutes, know that it's here, if it's like
It's pretty much the
operating
park.
hours?
It's pretty much the park within 6 minutes.
that's a good idea, secondary, but first let's just get it happening in here.
Yeah, we get it here and I'll have, Kaylin or Gary maybe put an article in the newspaper. Saying, by the way, and then maybe Jerry could put it on, social media. Say we purchased this AED and for the safety of all of our,
But that's a
People.
biggie for the community, I mean, the community pays money into this.
Spending the community's money for it, basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Number 23,
good,
22.
oh,
22.
22, I'm sorry. Discussion vote on CSDA Board Secretary Clerk Conference.
I had Tiffany put this on because the announcements have been coming out for the annual secretary board clerk conference, which you always get so much from. And, these things are selling out so fast, I'd rather get it approved and purchased now as opposed to later on.
We have a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah.
gonna be a couple months.
Yeah, because if you wait, then you can't get the housing, you can't get the motel room for the amounts and everything, so it's better to nip it in the bud now. Same place as it was last time as well. And it's got all kinds of beneficial stuff for it.
We rely on her.
Yeah, keeping us in compliance with everything, and she's done that remarkably well ever since she's started doing these things, so.
She's
It's-
always giving us information.
It's just hard, but we do have money set aside theoretically in the budget for education and training. This is more important than some other
It's-
stuff that we.
It was like 500 something, I think, for the conference.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't see any
Where is it?
prices.
Monterey,
Monterey, they stopped moving it. It's always gonna be in Monterey, it seems like now, from now on, but yeah, I think it's like $595 member price for the conference plus hotel.
Yeah,
started at 179 plus tax. That's, you know, I mean, that for a room is very reasonable.
Not like you can drive to Monterey and back and.
No, that's crazy. I did it once, I got taken for speeding because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, yeah, so.
Director Garcia?
Yeah, I'll move that we approve the board secretary clerk conference for Tiffany 23.
Okay, can I get a second to that motion?
I'm thinking, don't stare at me
No,
like
no,
that.
I'm always scared because I'm trying not to second a bunch of stuff if I'm not gonna be like around that long, so. I'm sorry.
Because I'm weighing
Borderline.
everything,
I know.
The computer is moving.
you know.
Having money issues.
If we wait until next month when we can get enough, we'll be paying more money for it, right?
Yeah,
Or maybe not
it's
able
like the
to-
early bird.
If that's
Special.
what you decide.
Early bird special.
And just so you know, I haven't been since 2019, so I'm sure there's.
No, it's
a
been
few-
that long because. of
Yeah,
COVID.
it's the COVID, so I'm sure there's a lot of updates to this stuff since then,
I didn't realize it's been so long.
yeah.
I just know what juggling we've been doing. That's all.
I think having an administrative assistant that knows her job and
No, I
we can only
understand that.
benefit from her going to, this is my opinion, of her going to a conference like this. To me, it's a win-win.
And it has been in the past. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. So you want me to second it? You don't?
I'll second it if you want me to. I'm willing to second it. I just was trying to like, I'll second it.
Okay.
I'm just not
Thank
gonna
you.
be.
A motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Hey,
Director Schoenberg, Director Kelly,
Aye.
Gibson, I 4-0, 1 absent. Moving
This is-
right along, folks.
I'm gonna say just remove number 23, that's my suggestion,
Yeah, we're not,
just remove it.
well, what,
Please tell me to put it back.
Yep.
yeah,
Skip loader, do I forget?
It's what we use to grade roads and load the dump truck and all that, but. You know,
Kind of
just-
important,
it's important, but, $1,000 is not in a realistic ballpark right now, so we'll just keep on going the way we are.
Number 24,
and can
Oh,
I
it's
say
fine.
one quick thing? We were talking about maybe leasing stuff if we really need it, like, but I don't know if that's like crazy too, because that's can be.
I'd have to get the
expensive,
details
too.
again, but we looked at that
And it was
several years ago and it was not realistic.
yeah, I can't imagine them leasing something that would get that much wear and tear on it for a cheap price.
And yeah, not for cheap enough. It's always better to have one that's gonna last you, but
Yeah,
unfortunately, we just got an interim, tier 4 device that turned out to be kind of a dud. That's what always happens when they come out with new, mandates for the smog and everything. Trying to figure out how to accommodate California. Causes all kinds of issues.
okay, so we're
Number 24 now.
not doing it, so review and approve minutes for 7/11/23, AP Standing Committee. Has everyone read these? Everybody ready to go? We need to table this for our next meeting.
I just can't read that thing over there.
Okay, I'm right with you. I can't read either.
You want me to hand it to you again?
Jerry's gonna do it.
Then I move we approve the meeting minutes for July 11th, 2023, AP Standing Committee. With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Gibson, I 400. Minutes for 7/13/23, regular meeting.
Okay.
Oh,
Wasn't here.
Were you not here? Okay,
I will. Well, you read the blurb. Brahma doesn't like it when I say, and the blurb.
Go ahead.
And just so you know, just heads up, like it is on the website, so you could actually, anyone could, even if they're not here, review it and be able to vote on it. So we don't need to be held hostage by the fact that a member wasn't here.
Oh, I thought that was one of our,
No, it was, but because it's live streamed on the website, there is nothing happening in this meeting that's not on the website.
In
So,
other words, you can go back and see a meeting that you weren't at, and then.
know exactly
And
what
then come
happened
in and vote on
it.
meetings, is what she's saying.
that's fine.
Okay, I move that we approve the regular meeting minutes for Thursday, July 13th of 2023 at 6 p.m.
With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected.
need a second.
I'll second it.
You can second
Well,
it.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion's
No, I
been made,
can't.
seconded. Roll call directors, Director Nyman is absent, Director Garcia,
Abstain.
okay, Rebecca Schoenberg.
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Gibson, I, so it's 3, 1 absent or 1. Okay. Thank you, Tiffany. 7/18/23, QF Standing Committee. Quarterly financial, that's what
Right.
it is. Okay.
I
7/25.
make a motion to approve the quarterly financial standing committee meeting minutes for Thursday, July 18th, 2023 at 11 a.m.
With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments or typos or other errors that we may have not caught or they may need to be corrected.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call of directors, Director Garcia,
Aye.
Director Schoenberg,
Aye.
Director Kelly,
Aye.
Gibson, I, Naaman's absent, 4-0, 1 absent. This is our final one.
No,
2 more.
2 more.
Okay, 7/27/23, regular state planning and project meeting.
I move that we approve the minutes for accounts payable standing committee meeting for Thursday, July 25th, 2023 at 11 a.m.
Actually, she said a different one to the record. She said
Oh.
state planning and project meeting.
Oh,
Oh, was that the wrong meeting?
Well, whichever, we just need to be
We-
consistent.
Okay, I'm
You said
sorry.
one thing and Terry sings.
well, no, that was because that's the way the version book, but, okay, I strike that one.
You go
I
down.
move that we approve the minutes for the state planning and project meeting, regular meeting minutes for Thursday, July 27, 2023 at 4 p.m. With the,
Any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any additional amendments, typos, or other errors that we may not have caught or that may need to be corrected. And I will second that.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman absent. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Schonberg.
Aye.
Director Kelly.
aye,
Gibson, aye. 4-0-1 absent. Discussion vote on future agenda items.
no, wait,
No,
no. The accounts payable standing committee.
Oh, accounts payable standing committee, sorry.
Okay. I make a motion that we approve the minutes for the accounts payable standing committee meeting minutes for Tuesday, July 25th, 2023 at 11 a.m.
With any of the amendments that were sent to Tiffany previous to and after the meeting, as well as any amendments or typos or other errors that may have not been caught or that may need to be corrected. And I'll second that.
Okay, so a motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman is absent. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Schonberg. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Gibson, aye. 4-0-1 absent. Discussion vote on future agenda items. Do we get everything covered?
One
And then
question,
some, right?
when did you want the financial policy to come back on?
Next regular meeting?
Yeah,
September?
yeah.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
The table one can go on the September meeting too, the table. Between meetings.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
I move.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. Roll call directors. Director Nyman is absent. Director Garcia.
Aye.
Director Schoenberg. Director Kelly.
Aye.
Director Gibson, aye. 4-0-1 absent. The meeting is adjourned and I already put my.
All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Night.
Thanks, guys.
Good night, everyone.
Ladies,
Meeting adjourned at 8:40.
Pam.